not so simple. There used to be a rabbi, his name was Rav Shlomo Karlibach. He used to be by Chabad. Then he got separated from Chabad and he became independent, and he started to go to places, play guitar, and people were singing, and many people started to become religious from his music, because he used to tell very touching stories in the middle of his songs. He used to tell stories. Everyone was crying from the stories of Ashgacha he used to tell. So he was doing kiruv in a very unique way. One time, when he was on a plane, he see a woman. Her name, he says here, Kati. Kati is not a Jewish name. He looks at this. Who is this woman? She works in the airline. She's a Studehurst. She's serving food in a thing. She stands on the side with a non-Jewish name. She takes out a Sidur and she prays Shmona Esrei. As Karlibach is looking at her, it's very strange. A few minutes later, she came. She saw him with yarmulke and a beard. So she started to serve him like she served a king. So he said to her, listen, do you mind I ask you a question? She said yes. He said, I look at your job and your name. I didn't know you're Jewish, and I saw that you're praying Shmona Esrei of the Jews. So she told him, yeah, Rabbi, I'm in the process of converting. I want to be a Jew. So I told her, very nice. So after a few hours in a flight, before he left, she served him so nice. So she asked him, Rabbi, can I ask you a favor? He said, of course. He said, listen, I have a boyfriend. He's a Jew. And I'm not Jewish. And me and my boyfriend love each other very much, and we want to get married. But you know that a Jew cannot marry a non-Jew. So I wanted to convert even before I met him. I always loved Judaism. Now it's urgent. I have to finish my conversion that I can get married. So he said, okay. So she said, but there's only one major problem. The parents of my boyfriend are Holocaust survivors. And they don't want to hear anything from Goyim. They say they had it. In Germany, they don't want to hear. They say to their son, if he marry me, he's not their son anymore. And now he wants to marry me after I convert. But he's not going to go against his parents, especially after what they had. He's the only son. So can you maybe call them, your rabbi, maybe you explain to them that I'm going to be 100% righteous, a gioret, I'm going to keep all the mitzvot. Can you do that for me? So of course, write your name, write your telephone, write their name, their telephone number. I'm going tonight to the hotel, I'll try to call them. When he arrived to the hotel, first thing he did, he called the house of the Khatan, of the boy. And his father picked up the phone. And he said to him, Shalom, it's Shlomo Karlibach. I met this Studehurst on a flight, and I understand that she's already involved with your son for a long time. And I wanted to ask you, what do you care if she converts? She looks like a very sweet, righteous girl. She has manners. You know, she looks even good. What's the problem that she marry your son? So he said to him, Rabbi, with all due respect, please don't push your nose into this thing. We went through horrible life. What we had, we don't want converts. We don't want anyone that used to be a non-Jew. We don't want. Please don't push. He saw there's nothing to talk about. They're not willing to listen. So he hung up and he called her house to tell her that he wasn't successful. Who picked up? Her father. So he said, sir, can I speak to Kati? He said, Kati is not home. Who is speaking? He said, this is Rabbi Shlomo Karlibach. I need to speak to her. He said, Rabbi, I never heard your name before. My daughter knows you. He said, yeah, we met on a plane. He tells him the story. So he said to him, wait, Rabbi, did you call the parents of her boyfriend? He said, yes. No, what did they say? They said that it's not going to work out. He said, you see? He said to his wife, I told you, no matter what's going to happen, they're not going to accept us. So Rabbi, I have news for you. We also don't want them. Don't try anymore. We don't want them. They don't want us. Our daughter is not good enough. We also don't want them. So he said, okay. He was about to hang up the phone. Then the old man say one more sentence. He said, I want you to know one more thing that I never told anyone. My wife and I also Jews. And we are Holocaust survivors. But we didn't want our daughter, when the day she born, to know that. So we lied to her and we told her that we're Christians because we didn't want her to suffer what we suffer here in America. Who knows what's going to happen here one day? So she doesn't know it. As soon as Rav Shlomo Karlibach heard that, he said, wait a minute, you Jewish from birth, you and your wife? Yes. Hold on, I'll get back to you. He hung up the phone. He called right back to the house of the boy. His father picked up the phone. True story. Who are you? Rav Shlomo Karli. Oh, you again? I told you don't push. He said to him, no, something just happened. And he told him the entire conversation with the last sentence. Right away, the father changed completely his attitude. So, well, if that's the case and they can prove it, of course we agree. We like her. She's a great girl. we always thought she's a goya. So he said, if I will arrange a meeting, would you come to my room tomorrow night at 9 to the hotel? Say yes. If they agree, we come. We'll bring the son and we come. He called back the father of Kathy. He explained to him what just happened. Also, he changed his attitude. Okay, tomorrow at 9 o'clock. After that, he was nervous all day, like he's making a shidduch now. The next day, 9 o'clock, the first family showed up to the hotel. So Kathy came, her father, her mother, they come, they're waiting in the hotel. A few minutes, the other family would show up. As soon as the boy and his father came into the room, the two old men are staring at each other, frozen, and looks at him, and he looks at him back. And then one of them screamed, Fischel! And the other one say, Nachman, you alive? You alive? I was sure that when the Nazis took you, that's it, they kill you. Shlomo Karlibach is standing over there. The two old men fell into each other's arms and started to cry like two little kids. They cry. So then after, he said, can you explain to me what's going on here? He said, Rabbi, we were chevruta in the yeshiva when we were kids until we became adults. One day in the middle, the Nazis came into the yeshiva, they took him to one place, they took me to one place, and we never saw each other since then until now. Then they look at each other. Nachman said to his friend Fischel, do you remember how we swore to each other before the last minute that we say goodbye, that if we will survive in a war and will stay alive, we will do anything we can to marry our children together, that we will become a family. Do you remember? And he said, yes. He said, see, Hashem did it for us. In a world of, at that time was 6 billion people in the world. A boy meets a girl, and in the end, this is based on the swearing of their parents many years ago in Auschwitz. And they got married. And he brought that story to show you the Ashgacha. What's the Ashgacha? How much we owe Hashem if we really pay attention to how much He does for us. There's nothing to compare.